Case. Last week we drove a beige 1984 Honda Civic wagon across country from Colorado to Torrance, California, back to the Honda Heritage Collection, and as a reward, they have let us spend a couple of hours with something a little special. This is a 1986 Honda Civic Sport Injected. We have gone up a lot in horsepower from 76 to a whopping 91.
I'll tell you what, there's quite a few improvements on this car versus ours, especially if we pop the hood. We'll see that we've got fuel injection, not like the carburetor that we were dealing with.
So SI, interesting story behind this. So the SI name in the US launched on the CRX in '85, and then the Civic, in this case hatch, came along in '86. So under the hood case of the SI, we're gonna find a 1.5 liter transverse mounted 4-cylinder with programmed fuel injection, PGM FI. This is a 12 valve unit with, like we said, 91 horsepower, which by modern standards, not a lot, huh?
No, but I love the way that this engine is dressed up.
Dude, this thing is cool. And what you gotta understand too is the car only weighs 2,033 pounds. This is a little teeny tiny two-door hatchback.
Yeah, so the fact that it's got the same horsepower as some motorcycles is not a big deal.
Not bad at all. This is like the sport bike of the Civic lineup in the 80s.
This car is cool from all angles, but none more so than the back, where we have this massive glass panel, which I have to imagine these days has got to be a pretty tough thing to replace if you need to. And then you thought 911s were badass. Look at the taillight stretching the whole width of the rear end of this car, Tommy.
It's just a really attractive rear end. It's super angular, and especially with these 13-inch wheels, what a fantastic look.
Well, because it's a particularly cool 13-inch wheel. I love these little vents, although this is, of course, a cap, but it's a cool cap. And then we can pop open this very flat rear end to expose the trunk, which is actually, well, it's pretty small, but you can fold these seats down, so this is a 4-seater. Pretty nice.
Now this was one of the origins of the hot hatch. This competed directly against the Golf GTI. This was a hot segment back in the mid-1980s.
You can vent the rear windows too.
Dude, come on.
How neat is that?
Oh, this thing is freaking awesome. Now the inside of this 86 SI is one of the cooler interiors I've seen in a long time, starting with the seats. This is a really, really good seat material, and it does a great job of holding you in place. What's cool is if you have the right cloth in your interior, you don't need crazy bolstering because it kind of acts like Velcro. Now the bolsters on this car are perfect. We have gone far too bolstered on modern performance cars to keep them comfortable. In case I was just in that BMW M3 competition with the crotch bolster. What the heck has happened as a society?
I know, that's like a medieval torture device, and I agree. A lot of seat bolsters feel like they're trying to change the shape of your back into a V. Not my favorite thing. You know what I do like though, is this big old sunroof.
Absolutely huge, and we can vent it. I think we can also pull it out altogether. This was a fantastic option in this car. This combined with the huge side windows makes it feel like you are on display at the zoo, but it also means that you have an unprecedented view of the outside world.
We've also got some pretty long doors here on this two-door, which is pretty cool, also given the size of the car. It's a big door for a little car with a big window. We've still got these hand crank windows here, so nice simplicity in that, which I like a lot. Also manual mirrors, but we have a side mirror. You've got your manual mirror adjustments over there.
And Case,
yeah,
we have an AM radio.
I know. We've got a Panasonic radio here in the dash. What does that say? The Supreme Series. Lucky us. We've also got a quartz clock here on the dash, a bunch of vents across the dash. And then I am particularly fond of what's in front of you here.
So 3-spoke steering wheel that looks like something out of E.T. Really cool, horn in the middle. And then the gauges are orange. Look how phenomenal those are. This was the era of 55-mile-an-hour speed limit, so you still have 55 outlined in yellow, but it goes up to 120 miles an hour. That sport-injected engine getting to work at those speeds.
But we still got a relatively simple car, because if we look at our climate controls, what are we missing?
We don't have AC.
Yeah, which is good. Honestly, if you have 91 horsepower, I'm not sure AC is going to do you a lot of favors other than slowing you down.
I think you're right, Case. And then when we talk about the transmission, this car's got a 5-speed manual. Now, this was kind of before the era of Honda's super precise manual transmissions. This has got kind of long throws, a little bit like a truck, but that's how these cars were. It's not to say it's not precise. It still clicks in gear quite nicely, but it doesn't have the same precision feel that the more modern Hondas have.
Yeah, this predates that era a little bit, but I do love the big long shifter. I think that's pretty rad.
This car is speaking to me in so many ways. And this was the car, I was just talking to the Heritage folks, that really, in a lot of ways for Honda, kickstarted the tuner community in Southern California. This was a car that, you know, allowed people to get really creative with power mods and with suspension and with handling, and it really was a blank canvas. So that's a pretty cool thing, but it's really a rare treat to see one in all original form.
Look at that! Oh, it sounds good.
Oh, what an awesome naturally aspirated sound.
So technically, in real time, we just got to California in our beige Civic wagon. So getting in this SI feels immaculate.
It's so funny because now you look at the specs on this car on paper, 0 to 60 in about 10.1 seconds, 91 horsepower, and you think that it's not gonna feel very spry, but coming out of a comparable sister car from the 1980s, it is night and day, my friend.
Oh, it really is. This car feels fantastic. So this example actually has just over 100,000 miles, but it's running and driving really well. Obviously, belonging to Honda, they're taking really good care of it. The paint on this is perfect. The interior is perfect. And look at the way it drives.
Oh, dude, this is the kind of car I wish you could buy today. A simple, basic, naturally aspirated, 2,000-pound, family hauling-ish, if you have a tiny family, rocket ship.
I'll tell you what, that induction noise from this car is actually really good.
Dude, this thing is so much fun. Now, first impressions, the steering is heavy because it is manually,
as it should be,
manually assisted.
Emphasis on the man.
I don't think I'm man enough to drive this Civic, Case. But the amount of road feel.
There's not much else on four wheels that's going to be more like a go-kart and be street legal than what we're sitting in right now.
So, look, these are cars that I kind of forgot existed because they've kind of disappeared off the road. I remember as a kid in like the early 2000s, I would see these cars, of course, used absolutely everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And they were tuned oftentimes to within an inch of their lives and K-swapped in some cases and big turbos, and they were so cool. These are such a good design. And what happened to them? Where did they all go?
I know, I'm wondering that myself because I kind of want to do a little marketplace shopping.
Dude, this car, the way it drives is unlike any other car on the market today because nowadays to design a sports car or even a sporty car, they just simply make the springs out of concrete, give it 25-inch wheels and just a thin veneer of tire, as Top Gear once said,
Yeah.
right? And then call it a day, and it rides like a cabbage cart, and maybe it's good on a track, but it's miserable everywhere. This car is soft and compliant, and it works with the road under the tires. It doesn't beat the road in submission. It complies with what's happening.
Well, and the reason that this car works as well as it does is because they took all the things in a car that you don't need and deleted them.
They just got rid of it.
Exactly.
Or actually, probably they didn't add it.
Well, yeah, it wasn't there in the first place. So this car is boiled down to what a fun driving, simple car has to be and nothing else. And that includes AC.
Yes, I mean, maybe AC would be nice. 91 horsepower, you're not gonna get, hang on, in a second.
Oh, it sounds so good.
Oh, it really sounds good.
And it is funny, the big long throws on that shifter. It is not the bang shifting Honda transmissions of today, but that still adds to the character. I love old school cars with big long throws of the transmission.
Oh, Case, this is such a wonderful thing to drive. Yeah, I mean, it's very satisfying when you do get into gear. It's in a different zip code than second gear, right?
Yeah.
Third gear is in another country, but once you do get it right, it is incredibly satisfying.
And the response is there because this car doesn't weigh anything.
And it also doesn't have a turbo to spool up, right? It doesn't have, you know, modern emissions requirements for how quickly can it rev up or whatever kind of computer
Stuff
crap
they have to do.
Yeah, is happening on the new stuff. This car doesn't have to worry about.
This car is some much needed old school fun, something I wish there was more of today. It is such a rad little unit. I am head over heels for this car. It's so sweet.
So Case, if you owned this 86 Civic, what would you do with it?
Drive it. Daily drive it.
Yeah, you
take
think
it
you could daily
everywhere.
drive this?
Oh, 100%. I would be perfectly happy to. You'd maybe be better off driving it in nicer weather, taking good care of it, especially one that's in this kind of condition, and looking after any pieces that might begin to rust. But yeah, I would drive the wheels off it.
And the thing about this car, it has 113,000 miles. This car from the Honda American Collection has been driven quite a lot, and it is basically tight as a drum.
Yeah, and again, there's no better person to maintain a vehicle like this, restore it, than Honda is going to have all the resources that and connections that anyone's going to have. So of course, their Civic Si is going to be in the best possible condition.
Yeah, that's true. And they do take good care of this car, and they make sure everything works, and that's not a lot of things to break. I mean, look, that's why these cars were so durable, or at least one of the reasons. Sure, there was some precision in manufacturing, of course, but like, look at all of the things that can't break. There's no adaptive cruise control, there's no lane centering, there's no airbags, there's no power locks, power mirrors, power windows. There's nothing electronic in here except the quartz clock.
But to your point, there's probably 6 feet of wire in this whole car. Obviously, there's more than that. That's a joke. People don't understand when we use hyperbole.
That's true, yeah. People are very literal online.
Yeah.
But this engine is zesty. The car is soft, but it just feels good.
I'll tell you what, I don't always agree with the word zesty when applied to cars, but it works here.
This is like, this is the taquitos
Yeah.
of cars.
This is the Takis Fuego of cars.
The Takis Fuego. Got a little chili pepper in that thing. It's interesting, even though it only has 15 more horsepower than the Civic Wagon we just drove 1,100 miles, it feels like a completely different car.
Oh, it's, yeah. Well, because when you're making less than 100 horsepower, 15 is a lot.
That's over 20% of the car.
Yeah, it's more than 15% more.
That's a pretty substantial
That
number.
is a substantial difference.
That's funny. But look, folks, if you are looking for a still relatively affordable classic, although one in this condition is probably going to set you back some change, I would put this car at the top of any list I ever considered for an affordable, reliable, daily drivable hot hatch. It is simply amazing.
Absolutely. If you could find one of these in decent condition and take care of it, keep it, drive it, that sounds like a dream scenario to me. This is such a cool car.
Oh, absolutely. Well, folks, let us know what you think in the comment section below. This has been Tommy.
And Case.
We'll see you in the next video.